Hello! Welcome to For the Plot. Hopefully there's some cool graphic playing here or something, or like put the name up here. It'd be really weird if there wasn't. Today I have wedding stories for you. Since I'm getting married soon, I figured we should read some unhinged wedding stories on Reddit because those are kind of my favorite. This one comes from the Too Hot Takes subreddit, which is like one of my favorite shows to listen to. So definitely go over and visit Morgan, give her a follow, and listen to her podcast. It's amazing. Caterer broke the number one rule: don't make the brides cry. Boy, do I have a wedding story for y'all. I truly don't even know where to start with this. I could write a book on how badly this caterer effed up. Sorry, this is going to be pretty long. I wish there wasn't so much to document. Before I start yapping too much, congratulations to Morgan and Justin on getting married. Yay! Everything looked incredible, and we, 26 female and 27 female, let's go lesbians, actually got married on the same day. I hope your weather was as good as ours in New England. Okay, on to the story. I know every wedding day has hiccups, but I stupidly thought we saw the worst of it when we had to switch photographers the day before our wedding. Our florists were amazing, the photographer was so sweet to us, the day was going great until our caterer decided it was time to ruin the day we spent thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours on. This caterer was supposed to be a cute small business run by women with a little silver vintage RV that they towed to different events with tables, dishes, food, etc. We were extremely confused when the caterer showed up and there was no RV, and two dudes in their early 20s jumped out of a car that was littered with energy drinks. I don't mean a few cans, like they opened their doors and cans came spilling out onto the ground. To give some context for our wedding, we booked a farmhouse Airbnb with a barn for the event space. We assumed most of the food was already prepared and just needed to be finished off in whatever appliances they had in the RV, but we were a bit confused when the staff members started bringing stuff into the Airbnb to use the ovens and stoves. Oh no, that's crazy. And how many ovens and stoves are there in an Airbnb? Just like one? Not a huge deal, but a bit off-putting when my dad asked about the RV because we reserved a place for it to be parked by the barn and they said it wasn't coming. Like many couples in 2025, my wife and I are pretty broke, so we couldn't splurge on much for our wedding. But we decided the one thing we would do it on is food. Oh my God, me too. My beautiful wife is a professional chef. Oh shit. You have a chef. She's a chef and the caterers were really bad. Oh no. She has a degree in baking and pastry arts and a degree in restaurant management. Needless to say, the food was one of the most important parts of the day for her. She worked on this menu for weeks. It was a combination of dishes they offered and dishes she came up with. They allowed custom dishes. She would talk about this incredible menu to anyone who would listen and was just anxiously awaiting to try it all. Pumpkin ricotta ravioli with a brown butter sage sauce, saffron and garlic basmati rice, and a fingerling potato / squash medley were just some of the items on our menu. Okay, when I went to Italy, the first time I went to Italy, the only time I went to Italy, I've never, I don't know why I said that. When I went to Italy, I had this pumpkin ravioli, and it was literally the best pasta I've ever had in my life. And it was kind of like a sage brown butter sauce, kind of like what this was. I vividly remember that meal, and I was 16 when I went there. So, girl, I get it. Oh my God, this sounds amazing. Delicious. This company sold their services as a cute luxury experience created and run by chefs. It rated extremely well on Google reviews, and after many phone calls and meetings discussing what we were looking for, we trusted wholeheartedly that they could deliver what they promised. Boy, we were wrong. Oh no. The two boys who honestly looked like they were pooping their pants the entire time, started setting up and making appetizers. I'm gonna try not to rag on them too hard because the real villain of the story is the owner, M. These two were trying their best to save what they could, but they soon accepted they were missing many ingredients and what they did have wasn't enough for 40 guests. Oh. So they had to make a last minute run to the store to grab the many, many missing drink and food ingredients. Girl. Oh my God. We also hired the company to bartend. So your food and drinks were messed up. And we're told if we provided the liquor, they would provide the tools and mixers. They showed up with no mixers, but they did have a bartender and he was amazing. Okay, good. Now, because my wife is a chef, she has many experts in the culinary field at our wedding. Oh no. Oh no. Some of whom actually do catering and know a business like this should operate and the amounts of food that should be present for a 40-person event, which also actually isn't that many people. It should be very easy for a caterer to cater a 40-person event. That's semi-small for a wedding. After the ceremony, which thank God went beautifully, these professionals stepped into the kitchen to see how it was going since the two dudes seemed stressed as hell before the ceremony. The two were scrambling to get food prepared as fast as humanly possible, which meant they couldn't pass out appetizers, another service we were offered that was not provided. So the friends their friends stepped up for them. That's so nice. So the friends offered to work a bit and pass them out, but asked where the rest was. There was no rest. This was all of the appetizers, which were enough for maybe 15 people, not 40. Again, 40 people is not that many. I make food for 40 people when I cook Thanksgiving dinner. Like, come on. And we have food left over. Our beautiful, amazing, talented friends then split into two groups. One preps and passes out food to the guest. The other pulls what they can from the Airbnb fridge and pantry to make enough food to fill the gaps left wide open by this god-awful caterer from hell. Oh my gosh. My now wife and I were a bit confused when our friend walked into our getting ready room, passing out appetizers instead of one of the staff, and she very gently let us know that we were having some issues with the caterer. Four balls. I can't say that word. She wanted to spare us the details so we could get back outside as fast as possible to get family portraits before joining our guests for the cocktail hour. Unfortunately, that's not how my wife works, and she needed details now so she can help solve this problem. Me too. I'm the same way. I'm very hands-on. I need to solve it. Despite multiple friends refusing to those are good friends. The friends that don't tell you the shit that's going on, those are the real G's. Like those are good friends. Despite multiple friends refusing to fill her in so as not to upset her, one finally did when they realized she's more stressed not knowing than knowing. The caterer then broke the number one rule. Don't make the brides cry. They were missing 2 entrees, many appetizers and sides, and what they do have is wrong. The vintage RV never showed up. There are only 2 staff members. They're way behind schedule, and the food is cold and incorrect. This is a caterer. 100%. This caterer double booked the weekend. And they didn't want to cancel one of them because they're probably getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars to cater one of the events. And they figured, this one's fine. I'll just train my son and his friend to bring this food over. How hard could it be? I promise you, this is a double booked caterer that didn't want to cancel one of the ceremonies. I swear. They didn't have enough food for everyone, and now our friends, who should have the day off from culinary work and be enjoying the reception, have their aprons on and are trying to save this wedding. Oh, your friends rock. Oh my God, that's amazing. My poor wife started sobbing and fighting off a panic attack. We were just elated and excited to see everyone who traveled so far and looked so happy for pictures, and now we're watching the caterers who are supposed to feed our guests absolutely nosedive. I'm sitting on the ground next to her, trying to calm her down and assure her it was going to work out. We see makeshift appetizers being rushed out for the cocktail hour. We tried the appetizers that the caterer was in charge of, and one of the main ingredients was wrong. It was freezing cold and not grilled like it was supposed to be. My wife, our best biatch, like a maid of honor, but we don't technically have a wedding party, and my mom were in the getting ready room to try to figure out what to do. My mom called the owner of the company, the lady we had all of our calls with, to ask what the hell was going on. M answered. My mom explained the situation, and this lady couldn't care less. She said she didn't see what the problem was. Not all of the food is out, so you don't know for sure yet that it's not enough. What? What? You're like calling someone, you're like, hey, I don't think this is right. And they're like, well, it's not all done yet, is it? I'm sorry. I'll wait till it's completely messed up and call you back in about 2 hours. The audacity. Oh my God, the audacity. My mom said the 2 staff members in the kitchen seemed like they were absolutely lost and overwhelmed. M says, well, they're not really my employees. They don't totally know what they're doing. I shit you not. She said that to my mother on her daughter's wedding day. My mom's mood immediately switched. I'm sorry, we spent thousands on this food and your employees don't know what they're doing? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Why would you send them? You talk about being a chef. Why aren't you here to help if you knew there were issues before you even left for the event? We left the room because it was so overwhelming to listen to this crappy owner talk in a bored voice while trying to process everything going on. Also, at this point, we were 30 minutes late for photos and the sun was about to go down. In case you're curious how that phone call went, Em never apologized and hung up on my mom mid-sentence. Oh, heads would roll. Heads would roll. I'd go to jail for murder. We walk into the kitchen and my wife is in Gordon. No. Gordon Ramsay mode now. She asked the boys what was missing. They listed the ingredients and said Em knew we were short on everything, but she sent us anyway. Oh, they don't care anymore. They're like, we don't owe you anything, biatch, and they're ratting on her. We filled them in on what we heard of the phone call with her, and man, the way they stopped and looked at each other. You could tell this wasn't the first time this happened. Oh no. Fast forward a bit, and there are more guests in the kitchen trying to get dinner ready, and my wife and I are getting pictures taken. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, but I also want to mention that after finally collecting myself for photos, I took one step outside and my mom accidentally stepped on the back of my dress and ripped about a foot of the lace trim. My sweet seamstress friend ran back inside to quickly fix my dress, and that's when I started crying too. We decided to just cut the rest of the trim off so I could get photos before the sun is entirely down. Dude, and wedding dresses are so expensive. I just tried on a bunch of dresses and I'm trying to keep my budget under $1,000 for a dress. And by the way, that's really difficult to do. Really difficult. So you're spending like $1,000 or $2,000 on this thing and the lace rips. That's really sad. And just piling more onto the bride that's already... This is not fun. This is not fun. After photos, we sat for dinner. Our best biatch gave a short speech thanking all the guests who stepped up to make and serve dinner. Yeah, you know what? You have awesome friends. What an amazing group of people who can actually help you out. And a friend who's a seamstress who is trying oh, that's so sweet. All the guests who stepped up to make and serve dinner and order extra food from a from a local pizza place, which was $240, and extra ingredients for the dinner and drinks, $150. We went to make our plates. The food our friends made and bought was amazing. The food the caterers prepared was an absolute embarrassment. What was supposed to be the fingerling potato squash medley was instant mashed potatoes. Our friends saw the 2 boxes they bought on their grocery store run. The ravioli, which was our only vegetarian option for our 5 vegetarian friends, was replaced by a quick pesto pasta our friends made out of various ingredients they found. Again, the caterer just didn't bring this. The tandoori chicken was not a yummy red color, but dry, tannish gray baked chicken piled onto a plate. Oh, picture attached, you guys. We have pictures. We also paid them for water service, which boasted fruit and herb infused water for guests. Includes gorgeous display and disposable cups for up to 4 hours. Yeah, not a single one of those things was there. We filled up one of our water containers and put it out for guests. I don't even know what we did for glasses. By the end of the night, we were doing everything we could to salvage this day in our memories, but I could never have expected one piece going wrong to have such a massive ripple effect of chaos. As my dad put it so well in a section of the email sent to them this morning. Ooh, okay. This whole thing's a quote from the email. This was an absolutely disastrous meal. While we appreciate that you did initiate a refund of our second payment to your group, due to the absolutely disastrous nature of this event, we are asking you for a full refund as you did not honor your agreement and provide the food and beverage service you agreed to. Even then, it will never make up for the fact that you effectively ruined a once-in-a-lifetime wedding event for our daughter. It was not as if a few things were wrong. Everything was wrong, missing, and late. You provided a staff that was unprepared to produce this meal and did not equip them with the food, ingredients, dishes, and supplies necessary. Your company made our guests have to prepare food, carry food, brew coffee, scrounge for spices, gather up cups, make appetizers, cook a vegetarian pasta, find utensils and dishes, and I could go on. We missed time at our reception, as did the brides and wedding party members trying to resolve this event. I couldn't even say that all in one breath because that is like crazy talk. Oh my God. These poor people. They're not even bridezillas. Like, this is not a bridezilla thing. This is standard practice for like a good business. If you're operating a good business, this is like what you should be doing. She still hasn't responded, hasn't called, and most importantly, hasn't apologized. She gave us a partial refund on the services that weren't provided on the day. Oh, how nice of her. She didn't do these things, so she didn't make you pay for them. That's literally the least that she could have done. That's the least amount of effort that she could have done. She's probably a very non-confrontational person as well, and just like, here, throwing this money back and then just ignoring it and hoping it just goes away. And now I think she's trying to ghost us. I'll update if/when she responds. Oh, I need an update really bad. I now truly understand why couples go on a relaxing honeymoon right after the wedding. My wife sobbed for at least an hour when we got home about how embarrassing the catered food was for a wedding, how stressful the day we prepared so long for was, and how much time was taken away from guests we only see every few years. We couldn't afford a honeymoon right after, so I'm writing this after work because we had to jump back into the work week as soon as we got home. We have a little honeymoon fund that our guests have been adding to a bit, which on top of everything else they've already done for us is just ridiculously sweet. I have never felt so loved. I can't believe the lengths these people have gone for us. And at the end of the day, I am just so grateful to have these incredible folks in my life. I love them and I love my effing wife. Thank you for reading. Heart emoji. Oh my God. Okay, first off, you do have a great village around you. What wonderful people to do this for you, because this is wild. What is this? Like, you're also, this caterer is running a business. You're running a business and you talk to people like that. Like, when did customer service go out the window? This is so crazy. Okay, edit. This caterer has been left intentionally anonymous. Please do not contact them or leave reviews if anyone knows of this business already. Uh-oh, maybe this is like an issue. I get into it at the end of the post, but I genuinely do not want to deal with this business owner anymore. She ties all reviews back to us. Thanks, y'all. Winky, sad face, heart emoji. We really appreciate all the supportive comments. Okay. Let me go to, should I read updates next or should I read some comments? Kind of want to, oh, the photos. Oh, you guys, the photos. This is from, oh my God, this is from the coffee station. Dude, that's like what my church would do after the church service. They have like the box of milk. Guys, they have the box of milk. Oh my God, look at this tandoori chicken. No, that's not tandoori chicken. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, update. She finally called us back and still has yet to apologize. She's not going to apologize. She's not sorry for what happened. She keeps playing the victim. How is she the victim? How is she the victim? If she booked this or overbooked this, it's her problem. She keeps playing the victim and said, well, I had an emergency. Those happen, you know. Oh, she had an emergency. Yeah, her emergency was another wedding. I'm telling you, I feel it in my bones, but won't give any details on said emergency. Yeah, because it was another wedding. She also said we were being cruel to her in our extremely calm and civil email. We emailed her once and called her once since the wedding, but she is insisting that we're blowing her up. We specifically kept the email calm and sticking to the facts of what happened so we can get this sorted out properly. And actually, that's the right thing to do. One email, one phone call is plenty. And then honestly, I'd probably take her to small claims court because this is very clear. You have photographic evidence. You have witnesses. I feel like this is pretty cut and dry. The most emotional our email got was that last paragraph where we said it ruined the wedding because you literally made us both cry in between the ceremony and reception. She also keeps saying we're threatening her. We are not. Lastly, our call, I assume she went to read the email all the way through. Then she called my dad and yelled at him for about a minute and a half about how we're cruel and mean people, then hung up on him. The only word he could get out was hello. It's going great, guys. She says she'll respond to her email by tomorrow, so I'll update again when she does. I would love an apology at some point. She's not going to apologize. She's not sorry. She doesn't care. Update 2. Oh. I wish I knew what was wrong with this person. Some people just love hating. They love being the victim. She did not respond to us by Friday, so we sent another email this Saturday morning explaining that it has now been a week since the event, and the only contact we've had with her has been a partial refund and 2 extremely unprofessional phone calls of her emotionally unloading and saying she's only human and people have emergencies. Again, without giving a single detail on this emergency. We asked that she refund us the rest of the money or we will get in contact with our bank. Her response was, I sent a very long and genuine apology before you even reached out. I've said I'm sorry. I refunded everything except the non-refundable deposit. I don't owe you anything, sir. When I tell you my blood is boiling today, we are very confused about this apology she sent. None of us received it. We checked every inbox, including spam, and it's just not there. We've asked her what the email she sent to was, and she showed us a screenshot of my wife's contact info. We triple checked all of my wife's inboxes for that email, and she didn't send you an email. She didn't. She's a victim and a narcissist, probably. She didn't send you an email. She's not going to apologize. And she's like, I already sent it. So because she's not going to apologize, she's lying. She's literally lying to you. Don't keep searching for that thing. It doesn't exist. So my wife asked her to forward us the email since she didn't receive it, and we wanted to see when it was sent and to whom. M just responded that she's not arguing with us anymore. She still has yet to directly apologize to us. She didn't send anything. She's lying. I'm typing this up while on hold with my bank trying to dispute the transaction. Good. Fingers crossed I get it. Ugh, what a way to celebrate my wedding. Good. You cancel that check. It's not a check. It's a debit card, which is actually really difficult after a week or so. Like, I don't know how you'd get that back from the bank unless they can reverse it out. I don't know. Update 3. Hopefully final update. Man, this is... Man, is this super professional business person fun to deal with. Of our 40 guests, 7 left reviews, including my wife, which dropped her rating down by 0.9 points. That's good. That's a good ding. Em is freaking out to say the least. She called us a collective amount of about 9 times more or less on Saturday, and 3 days in a row, she would email us first thing in the morning to remind us that we are terrible people. You know what? Honestly, I always think matters should be settled privately before going public. But when you can't get through to somebody privately, then publicity and public outreach and outrage is sometimes what you have to do. People don't listen otherwise unless it affects them personally. A lot of people have asked me to drop the name of this caterer, but this person is so unhinged in taking all of her frustration about the situation out on us, and I can't deal with it anymore. A ton of new people started leaving reviews / contacting her. I'm worried this will start all over again. It sounds like I'll be getting the rest of my money back from the bank. Yay! Small victories. And our friends have left reviews on a few sites, so I'm okay with ending it here. I'd like to start enjoying my life as a newlywed now, LOL. If she contacts us again, we're going to report it to the local police department for harassment because she has called or emailed us daily with threatening tones from Saturday through Monday. Oh, she takes Sunday off. Oh, no, wait. Saturday through Monday. Oh, never mind. I just realized that was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This has been such a crazy experience. Thank you all for reading and following the updates. I've seriously appreciated all of the supportive comments and read every single one. You guys are amazing. Ooh, this is a really good comment. What organization governs caterers in your state? Report them to all. The health department. Food made by caterers is supposed to be made in a commercial kitchen, which I don't believe your Airbnb had. 2, your state's Department of Consumer Affairs. 3, whatever local business registration / tax entity exists, and sue them. Take them to at least small claims court for breach of contract. I'm glad you have good understanding friends. Run her into the ground. I understand wanting to move past it and just kind of moving on with your life and not wanting to deal with this anymore. So I totally think that's a valid option. There comes a point where you're just exhausted by dealing with people like this and you just have to put an end to it. And in the same breath, I'm going to say that's exactly what she wants you to do. She doesn't want to be bothered by you anymore. That's why she's harassing you. She wants to harass you to the point that you feel so crappy about it all that you stop. And then she wins in a sense. But I mean, since you were able to get your money back, I mean, that's a really big deal. So yeah. Oh my gosh. I hope you like that story. I hope I have nothing like that for my wedding. That would be wild. I wish them the best of luck in their married life. And let me know what you think of the story. Comment down below what you would have done. This is absolutely crazy and bonkers. I mean, that's one of the craziest stories I've ever read. And it's really sad because your wedding day is just a really happy and joyful event. And I definitely don't think these women were being bridezillas in any way, in any capacity. This was well within normal rights of complaints, of normal feedback that you'd be giving somebody who did not live up to their end of, a signed agreement that you guys had together, that you paid for. So no way were they bridezillas, but what a crazy story. I wish you all the best of luck in your married life, and we'll chat next time with the next story. Thank you. Goodbye.